front page of Reddit today, the guy who was found not guilty of aggravated property damage. Did you see this? Here's the backstory. These people from the city, I presume, went to this guy's farm and they started drinking. I'm making this up. They probably like dropped their beer cans or whatever. He told them to leave, and the city slickers punched him. Not cool. So he comes back with a forklift, but not the American kind you're thinking. It's like on a telescoping arm, and like it can go forward and lift things, and it's really agile. And he just starts fucking with their car with the forklift. He gets it on its side and rolls it off his property. And the guy's like trying to attack the driver in the door, but the vehicle is moving too much and it's just dangerous. And it doesn't move like a car like you think. Like it's like articulating in the middle, and it's not dangerous to stand. I'm sorry, it's not safe to stand next to it like it is a car.
Yeah,
it almost goes sideways. And he just rolled the car off his property. Anyway, they went to...
Wait, you're missing the best part. It's much more agile than that. The best part was he hit the guy with the forks too and knocked him on his ass. he's like, imagine you turned your wheel all the way to the left, put it in reverse, and floored it. What the car would do? Like
he's just whipping it around.
He whips it around and hits this asshole with the forks and knocks him on his ass. And like what he was saying, it went to court.
How'd it go? Was he given the key to the city?
They decided that it was not an over-the-top response to the dude punching him after being evicted from his property.
Yeah, totally on board with that.
That is revolutionary knowledge, because like the way they do it in court is always like you cannot exceed a fight's level of violence, right? So like if it's a fist fight, if you're not in fear for your life, can't pull a gun, right? If someone slaps you, it's not reasonable to pull out a gun and shoot him in the chest. But if someone comes at you with a knife, then it is. Like you can't, supersede it. So that is great to know that forklifts are legally on the level of fisticuffs.
Well, that's in the UK.
It was UK.
Yeah, in the UK. Okay.
Yeah, we'll probably be more strict.
So in the US, where are forklifts? Like, when does a fight go from fist to forklift?
Immediately.
As soon as the natural from the driver's seat.
It's like, the fight goes like shove, fuck you, no fuck you, punch, forklift.
Now, hey, bitch, you stand here and wait 50 minutes for me to go to the warehouse I work at and steal a forklift and drive it here.
What a
you know what? This will be better on Monday. Give me your contact information. We'll work this out.
Imagine you're in a bar and you hit a guy, and then out of the corner of your eye, his wife comes around the corner on a forklift, just like bringing the reinforcements. Man.
Cheryl, bring the Bobcat around. Taking everyone with me.
Have you guys ever tried to? How much do you think a Bobcat costs, Taylor? Throw a number out there.
Oh man, well, what kind are you picturing?
A white one.
A June.
I'm going for like
those big ones that have the behind crane and the front shovel.
That's a backhoe. I'm talking about the skid steer. It's like a small front end loader.
Yeah.
What, 60 grand?
I have no idea.
Yeah, they're about 60 grand new, I think. Yeah. They're really heavy. Like my tractor. I always think
shit like that's more expensive.
My tractor weighs, I think, like 4,000 or maybe 3,500 pounds. These things weigh like 8,000 pounds. Like there's a lot of something in there somewhere. But
how much does a car weigh for the listeners?
5,000 pounds.
That's a big car. That's like what a truck would weigh, right?
I think my car weighs 5,000 pounds.
A Camaro?
Let me double check.
Well,
what's in my head?
Muscle cars, like
it's one of those numbers that's in my head.
Muscle cars are heavy.
You'll hear like ton trucks a lot. Like a ton on a truck is normal.
This says 300 to 4,100.
Yeah.
So I am incorrect.
Oh, that's pretty good. Okay.
Look at that. Steel. 32
That's
grand.
a 2006 Bobcat for $32,000. That thing. I don't know what 22 minus 6 is. No one really does, but I know that it's old.
47.
I was picturing something bigger than that.
So let me ask you this, Woody. What's your use case? What do you want to do?
With the skid steer?
Mhm.
Oh, there's all sorts of fun things I would do. I mean,
Bring it to
aside from the
fist bump.
obvious of beating up neighbors,
Yeah.
I could make a motocross track with it. I could make a go-kart track with it.
You're gonna end that dog problem.
I could
once and for
pull.
all.
They moved. I could pull fence posts out with it. Take the garbage cans to the curb with the skid steer.
Look,
Uh,
anything you
Okay,
could-
counterpoint. Because I love your zeal, and it's one of your best qualities.
Woody has a lot of zeal. Life with zeal. I like
I'm
that.
kind of zeely.
Zealous. Yeah.
No,
No,
my
zealous.
story.
It's not over as there should be a word for when someone has too much zeal. I can't imagine what it would be.
Can't even imagine it.
Over zeely.
I would just like
yeah.
I would get a quote on what that BMX track or whatever it is you'd want to build would be to like have like some professionals come in and do it. Like, hey, what would this cost to do this, and the other? And I bet if you saw how low that number is, you'd be like, oh, well, I won't be buying any equipment. Of course, you could rent
Well,
equipment to do this. Why don't you do that? Why don't you rent one to play with first?
That makes
So-
sense. I have done that before. When I put the swing set in Apex, I
Yeah.
had to level the ground. So I rented a Bobcat. And it was like, I don't know how to use this, right? And they gave me
They
like
don't
a
care.
6-minute lesson on how to operate a Bobcat. And then I just did my best.